headbanging, no nothing. Welcome in to a very sad edition of the PHNX D-backs podcast. What happened to this team? My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as someone that allegedly covers the Arizona Diamondbacks. This man next to me is Mr. Electricity himself, Shawn DePaz, and he has no electricity left.
What's popping?
I mean, look at this. He's turned into the arch villain that he always knew he could be. He's toothpick guy now, and the Diamondbacks made him toothpick guy. But we are going to talk about some good things today because not everything was bad. Of course, we welcome you guys in to this show. Brandon Pfaadt might be the exact starting pitcher the Arizona Diamondbacks were looking for at the trade deadline. But let's be honest, pitching has not been the problem for this team.
No, what starting pitching at the very least. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, at this point,
relief pitching hasn't been the problem. I mean, we blame relief pitching.
It's been a problem, but it hasn't been the problem. I mean, obviously the main problem at this point. They didn't score a single. They didn't score a single fucking run in a bullpen game. It was a bullpen game.
Nope.
They didn't score a single run. Brandon Pfaadt had the best performance of one of the best performances of a D-backs pitcher all year, and if he didn't give that solo shot, we might still be playing baseball because the offense didn't do a damn thing.
And it sucks for Brandon Pfaadt to have such a good outing ruined by the lack of run support. No run support in this game. When we talk about this team and how bad they've been, this was another day where they didn't do anything as far as runners in scoring position. 0 for 5 today. In this series, they have had, and we're going to get to the numbers. We're going to get to the numbers, of course. But I can't wait to get to the fact that they have had in a 4-game series 13 runners in scoring position. In a 4-game series, I'm going to repeat that for you one more time. They had 13 total runners in scoring position, which averages out to, I believe, if we're good on math here, just like 3 per game on average. Not converting those
3 and a fourth.
Well, yeah, and I mean their batting average isn't terrible because they haven't had a lot of opportunities, so they were able to convert a couple of those, but not many. And this offense just continues to struggle. I want to blame the Giants pitching staff, but like you said, today was just a bullpen game.
Yeah, Benjamin, they beat us with 2 hits. They got 2 hits. They got 2 hits.
2 hits. 2 hits to the Diamondbacks, 6 hits. The Diamondbacks were unable to score.
Most MLB teams are winning this game. If they're in the Diamondbacks position, most MLB teams, and I mean to be fair, the Diamondbacks are probably winning this game most times too. If you play this game 10 times, they probably win this game. The majority of them, right? Like it's pretty hard to lose a game when your pitchers, when your starting pitcher, or I guess your entire pitching staff performing the way they did. But I mean, yeah, it's where the offense is at this point. It's an absolute train wreck. I mean, look at this lineup, man. Like there was guys playing out of their minds in the first half of the season that I think allowed us to ignore the fact that when you just look at the names on this lineup, it is not it's not a winning MLB lineup. Emmanuel Rivera, Tommy Pham batting 2-3. That's not an MLB lineup. Corbin Carroll finally bat leadoff, which is fun. But
I mean, technically it actually is an MLB lineup, but you're talking a quality of lineup, and I have to say you're not wrong. I mean, when you look at the guys starting, especially Jace Peterson, which gets a lot of disdain. But
I mean,
Jace Peterson honestly has been producing at least more than other guys on this team currently.
Yeah, but he hasn't. He's been. I mean, half of his production he's ruined by getting thrown out on the base paths. I don't know, man. I mean,
show me anybody right now that's doing well. I mean, Tommy Pham 0 for 3 today. He did draw a walk, so he got on base in his debut, but he didn't do much else to that. Emmanuel Rivera, known professional baseball hitter. As much as you want to say he has no business hitting in the 2-hole, the man does have one of the higher batting averages on the team. Went 0 for 4 today. I mean, honestly, we talked about it, and we kind of stood back and were astonished by some of the things that happened in this game, especially late. Things that normally would have gone the answer backs way previously, but now whatever this iteration of this team currently is, things aren't going their way. The Christian Walker single that was 2 feet away from being a game-tying home run there in the 9th inning. You also had a comebacker that goes right to the pitcher, and instead of it breaking, fracturing that pitcher.
Something
right
cursed
ankle,
is happening with this baseball team right now.
It went off his neck. Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
An a foot away from a Christian Walker game-tying home run off of someone's neck.
And not a man in the world who needs a home run more than Christian Walker right now. One off of like we were saying it during the game. That gets hit at a D-backs pitcher. He is dead. He is on the field, no heartbeat, no brain activity, dead.
At the end of his career, basically.
This guy is just like, I got it. Mosquito.
Yeah, I got it.
Let me go pick up this baseball and throw homeboy at it. But no, Austin Adams gets hit, fractured fucking ankle.
Yeah. Elise said in the comments something about not hearing the words not like the pitching has not been the problem, not something I expected to be saying at this point. Have you asked me in June? Yeah, exactly. Because we talked about the trade deadline. We talked about what the Diamondbacks needed to focus on. And even though they didn't land the starting pitcher we felt that they needed in order to bolster this rotation, they did get some help. And right now, as much as you could say, Brandon Pfaadt gave up the 1 run. Like, so that's how baseball games go. Yeah. No, Brandon Pfaadt was incredible today. And Brandon Pfaadt deserved more run support behind him than just nothing. Yeah,
100%. And I, like, people are criticizing Hazen. Torrey criticism, I get a little bit. The Hazen criticism, like, when we talk about where we were before this lineup, like, sure, the right-handed power bat was mentioned. But by and large, like, offense was not the focus here. It was the pitching staff. And the pitching staff hasn't been the problem over the last week or so. Like, since the trade deadline, obviously the bullpen has not been great.
The bullpen continues to not stop from giving up runs, but they didn't give up a run today. Yeah, so, hey, there's something.
By and large, I'd have to go back and look at this. So I'm not speaking on the side of my neck. But, like, it doesn't feel like necessarily they're the reason. Like, there obviously are situations where they are the reason losing games. But like, a lot of the times when you sit and look at games in totality at the end, you're like, if this is what the pitching staff gave us, that's a game we should be winning.
Yeah.
Even if the bullpen's giving up a run every game, like, still. And they're not. Like, and so as far as Hazen's concerned, like, sure, he could have gotten more, like, another starter, more bullpen help, but that's not why they're losing games. Right? That's not why they lost this game. Not why they sucked this series. Their offense, like what you talked about, is not producing, and that was never part of the plan here. It's just a little bit of an unfortunate reality, and if the offense was performing like this before the deadline, they weren't trading for anybody. They're not buyers.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. To be fair, they have been, going back to July 1st, the worst team in baseball. Like, it's a fact. They have the worst record in baseball dating back to July 1st. They've won 7 games. It is August 3rd. They have won 7 games since July 1st.
Do I use the D word? I think I'm using the D word after this series, or maybe mid-series.
Yeah. No, I mean, I said it yesterday, and Jesse said that I was being,
I'm with you, Derek.
Emotional, right? It was too much. But I'm saying, if they cannot win the series against the Twins,
I think I'm with these pitchers,
with
these
matchups, Ryan Nelson, and starting off with Merrill Kelly in game 1 on Friday.
Ryan Nelson on the road.
Zach Gallen, I'm still not that worried about Zach Gallen on the road. I know his splits have been terrible, but I still think Zach Gallen can just
Zach
go
Gallen's
out there.
last outing was good until it wasn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still 3 earned runs in 7 innings, basically. Yeah. Like, it's still not a fucking disaster if your team can score runs, right? Like, if some runs can be generated, then these are not disastrous outings. Ryan Nelson giving up 2 runs, Brandon Pfaadt giving up 1. Even if when we look back on this series, right? I am getting ahead in the series, but Diamondbacks starting pitching gave up 2 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 1 earned run. That was what they gave up in this series, and they fucking lost 3 out of 4. That's crazy. That's crazy to me that's what they gave up, and they lost this series the way that they did. And again, it was very important. We don't just send Jesse out there for nothing. What are you laughing
Watchman's
about?
comment, Carson Kelly selecting a pitch to swing at reminds me of my grandfather selecting grapefruit and fries.
Oh,
that's an all-timer. That's a great comment. Shout out, Watchman. That's so good.
Oh, my God.
Benjamin had a good point. The Giants did not deserve
for me, it was my dad with avocado, but the same thing. I'm with you. What were you saying?
The Giants didn't deserve to win that series. Like,
no,
the Giants.
No, they didn't do enough to win that series, but they did enough to win that series. Like, that's the way that baseball goes. You can say they didn't deserve to win it, but did the Diamondbacks deserve to win it with the way that they played?
No, the Diamondbacks earned losing this series. They earned those losses. They handed wins to the Giants that the Giants did not do enough to deserve. But you shouldn't be winning games scoring 1 run and 2 hits.
I want to get back to the starting pitching, because as much as the offense pisses us off, we don't have a solution. We don't have an answer. We have nothing to say about it other than we're as frustrated. It's as maddening to us as it is to you as fans. But Brandon Pfaadt was absolutely dominant in this game. He was dominant until the fourth, to be honest. When he got into the fourth, he started getting hit around a little hard, but he only allowed one hit early there, and that first hit was a home run by Lamont Wade Jr. there in the fourth inning. He gives up one more run in the outing. His total line is 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 7 Ks. He had 15 whiffs in this game. The man was dealing. And again, when you talk about what you would have wanted out of a starting pitcher that the Diamondbacks got at the trade deadline, this couldn't have even been a dream, having a guy come in here and pitch 7 innings and give up 1 run. Do you know how like, just think about how angry you are about this loss right now. Can you imagine if this performance was Jack Flaherty or Michael Lorenzen after the Diamondbacks trade for him? They come in, he's able to give them a performance like this, and then they fucking shit the bed offensively like they did and give him no run support. That's bonkers to me.
Yeah,
right?
And I mean, really, like, yeah, exactly. If you knew that, if you could have known for sure that the starting pitching was going to perform the way that they have since the trade deadline hasn't been that far away, but I mean, it's been a couple of games. Like, if you're getting this Pfaadt every day, or you're getting whatever, like, starting pitching is not that big of would not have been that big of a priority at the deadline. And at this point, I don't like. You can't sit here and be mad at Hazen for like not getting a starting pitcher or something like that, or not doing enough at the deadline, and then also be mad at the offense has sucked. It's again small sample size, but it would have been a very bad decision to give up assets for a starting pitcher just for them to not get any run support.
The overall point, at least my overall thought here, is that there were so many weaknesses, and this is what we talked about at the trade deadline. Like, you can't just do one thing, because at this point, the team, especially as they limped into the trade deadline, just showed that they needed improvement in so many areas. They still need improvement at starting rotation, but Brandon Pfaadt, like, let's give it up. Let's give the man his flowers, because 100%. He has been excellent in his last 3 outings. And I understand that at times, as a fan, you get excited about a young guy getting called up only for them to take a while to acclimate to the big leagues. In the case of a starting pitcher, that means they're going to get rocked a couple of times, and they're not going to have great outings. But this is how, like, see, this is the thing that would have happened to the Diamondbacks is they would have traded Pfaadt at the trade deadline, and we would have had to watch him pitch this kind of outing with someone else, and then we would have
and then be a perennial Hall of Famer or all-star, make the Hall of Fame.
We just collectively would have just given up on
Brandon
this
Pfaadt
team.
was going to be the greatest Pittsburgh Pirate of all time. Yeah, like, it was without a doubt. Couple things: D-backs officially have a negative run differential.
Hey,
-4.
-4.
Expected win-loss for the Arizona Diamondbacks: 55-55. Fun fact. There's 2 teams in this division that have a negative run differential. It is the Arizona Diamondbacks at -4 and the Colorado Rockies at -160.
-160.
The 4th place San Diego Padres, who, like it or not, are coming.
Phrasing?
Well,
I'm not even breathing hard.
Like it or not, they are.
I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
Like it or not, they are on the way. They're plus 70. They have a expected win-loss of 62-47, which would put them in second place in the division, with the same numbers of wins as the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Elise in the comments said, well, Hazen messed up this offseason and not getting another starter before the season started.
No, I disagree.
He hung his hopes on Davies, a washed Mad Bum, and a few starts of Nelson and Jameson the prior season. I don't think that's necessarily completely
because
fair.
we said it before the season started. Everyone we talked to from the organization had tempered expectations.
Remember you and I were together with the Derek Hall interview.
Yeah,
we were chatting with Derek Hall. Derek Hall tried several times to temper expectations, and that was during the preseason, like
talking to media, trying to get everyone excited.
Trying to get people excited about it, and he just didn't want. He didn't want this.
Yeah, because the reality is if they go to sign some big time starting pitcher in the offseason, we're all sitting here being like, what the fuck are they doing? Mm-hmm. Like, why they're doing this again? They're going to make this mistake that franchises make all the time of going for it before they're ready.
This franchise,
right? And and again, look where this team is right now. One good starting pitcher doesn't make that difference at this point where the offense is. So
you're sadly very, very correct.
So like there's no way that Hazen could have predicted them to have been this good for the first half of the season, then to be at this point. Because if he did, he's trying to sign JD Martinez. He's trying to sign big bats. Which I think he will attempt to do in the offseason.
That much. Bogarts.
Xander Bogaerts, who they were in on, which they tried to sign. That one would have made a difference. Xander Bogaerts being a part of this team, holy
playing third
shit.
Base?
Oh boy. Wait, what?
Maybe playing third base.
I'm out on that. I'm very anti third baseman Bogaerts because he fucking hated it, and it was his worst professional baseball season was when he played third base.
Perdomo third base.
Yes.
I'm
in. Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah. All right, we figured that out. Well, we got our imaginary
I just dropped my toothpick,
man.
But I got it back up this time.
It's all right. We have he's learned from the past, something the Diamondbacks haven't really done. We do have to give our king snake out, and of course, there's nobody that deserves it more than Brandon.
There's nobody
Pfaadt.
that deserves.
Nobody deserves it. Period. But Brandon Pfaadt deserves it. No, fuck that. No, I'm not even gonna say. Yeah. Brandon Pfaadt deserves it. Period. This man was incredible today, and he's gone through a lot to get to this point. You know, he's gone through quite a lot of trial by fire. I think his maturity has shown here, his ability to adapt. Most importantly, his ability to be coached. We talked about. I've talked a lot about how Brent Strom discussed with the media how he got Brandon Pfaadt to pitch on the other side of the rubber and get some of those pitches to look a bit more deceptive. Have a more, similar because of his arm slot. It's a very deceptive arm slot. So he has the ability to throw pitches that look like everything looks alike, you know? And so Strom really worked with him on that. And I feel like the results have shown that has worked for them. So Brandon Pfaadt, keep doing your thing because
100%.
With Brandon Pfaadt, Merrill Kelly, and Zach Gallen, kind of anchoring this starting rotation a bit.
Listen to yourself. You just said that. You just named those three names anchoring the starting rotation, but 2 weeks ago we were talking about Ryan Nelson being that guy, and 2 weeks before that we were talking about Tommy Henry being that guy.
Oh, I mean, Tommy Henry, Jesse's going to have some updates on Tommy Henry and Zach Davies in a little bit, but let's be honest, this situation has changed quite a bit. I mean, it's very fluid. We knew that trusting all of these rookie pitchers to be part of the starting rotation was going to potentially be a disaster, and for all intents and purposes, it hasn't really been as big of a disaster as we thought it would.
Pitching at home, but
if the bats can't hit baseball, they're not going to win games.
Yeah, the big thing for me with Pfaadt is just the perseverance, because I was getting really worried that this was going to be a situation where he just could not handle major leagues, because he was obviously he just seemed really rattled, and I feel like you could see it on his face. Like, he looked unsettled and overwhelmed early on. His face was always flushed and red, which it still is, but he just always seemed like really overwhelmed by it. And I was worried that either he was going to get discouraged by the lack of success early on. And I know Damon just reacted behind the Mac, and I know exactly what he's reacting to. I'm gonna get there in a second. But I was really concerned about his whether or not he was going to be able to stick with this. And he seemed to have bounced back and kind of acclimated a lot better. I'm guessing you're responding to the "Let's fucking go, Brandon" comment. Yeah, I saw that at first and I was like, whoa, what are we doing here? I'm assuming it's Brandon. Pfaadt. But when I first read it, I was like, whoa, where did that come from? I mean, I guess to each their own, but not. What are we doing here?
Not today. Not after a day like that. Not today. All right, but I don't know. I don't have much else to say other than
Pfaadt deserves better, man. He deserves better today.
We have some video from Torrey after the game, and I don't know if it's going to instill a lot of confidence in you guys, but we'll get to that here shortly. Of course, you can swing for the fences, and you'll probably do a much better job
hit it 6
than the
inches
Diamondbacks.
Off the top of the wall.
Oh man, don't do that. No, what you will do is you'll single, you'll double, you'll triple, or you'll hit a home run. And I'm voting
Christian
for
Walker.
you to hit a home run. With the new swing for the fences.
Hey, if you hit a home run, you've done more than the fucking Arizona offense.
He's not wrong, but it's this easy to try to get in on the swing for the fences game. Or you don't have to try. You can do it. You will do it. See, that's the problem. Diamondbacks are thinking, I'll try. No, there is no try. There is no try. Just log into the BetMGM Sportsbook app now. If you have an account, sign up immediately. Use our bonus code of PHNX. You get down on some bonus bets if you lose. But of course, log into your BetMGM Sportsbook app. Play the BetMGM MLB free-to-play game from now until September 7th. All you have to do is you're a batter. You pick an area of the strike zone. Based on the area you select, you will have a result, whether it's a hit, whether it's a home run, whether it's an out. You will get the prize associated with that. That prizing must be used on MLB and does expire in 24 hours. So do not hesitate to jump in and make some money, just like our buddy Shane did. Jumped in on the Texas Rangers at 1.5 run line over.
That was a big get for him.
It was a fun. We were all rooting for those White Sox, right?
Yeah, he bet on them minus 1.5 at the beginning of the game. Scherzer got rocked at the start of the game, so he got real worried. But because he's not a coward, Shane doubled down, bet on better odds on the Rangers minus 1.5, and then they came back late in the game and won by 2.
What a stud. What a stud. If you haven't signed up for the BetMGM app yet, you can be a stud just like Shane. Use bonus code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live. But for our Arizona peeps, make sure that you get down on the first bet offer, which you will receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses with BetMGM. Again, make sure you use your bonus code PHNX. Check out the show notes for full details. And now listen to our buddy Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-522-4700 Nevada. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario.
I see our Dodger-loving friend Mo is in the chat. Mo sent a comment that said, a Puerto Rican friend from the Montilla tribe once told me, if you can't score 3 runs, you don't deserve to win. He was rooting for the D-backs, and I believe that because he hates the Giants. I'll also say, I used to say that all the time. My theory, my philosophy on baseball is if you scored 2 runs, if you score 1 run and you win the game, you're lucky. That's the way I see it. You need to score 3 in order to solidify any win in baseball, but that's just my feelings on it. I thank him for being here. I thank all of you guys for being here in the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so now. Sign up for notifications. That way you don't miss when any shows go live. Leave us, of course, a thumbs up so that way we know you like the show. If you're on the audio podcasting side, make sure to subscribe to us there. Leave us a review. We always appreciate that feedback. And most importantly, sign up today to become a member of our Die Hard family. If you have not heard about all the wonderful benefits of the Die Hard membership, you must not watch this show. This must be your first time here. But I'm going to tell you all the wonderful benefits. Not only do you get a free gift certificate, $50 gift certificate from Mountain Mike's Pizza, you also get a Dobson Ranch card, which comes with all sorts of great golfing benefits if you live in the Dobson Ranch.
I need to go out to Dobson Ranch and just start fucking. I need to smack this shit out of some balls.
It's a great stress relief to go out there. I honestly I don't like golfing as much as I like going to the driving range. I love going to the driving range.
Well, yeah, because
it's just more fun, less pressure.
It's
less
way less pressure. There's no sucking at the driving range.
Yeah, you're just having a good time.
You just hit a ball. If you don't hit it well, hit the next one.
That's right. You'll get that. You'll get all sorts of wonderful things from us. You'll get a PHNX free piece of merchandise from PHNXLocker.com, 20% off all future purchases. You also get access to our members-only Discord lounge, which is the best place to be an Arizona sports fan. You get Jesse's newsletter, Full Count, and all of the newsletters from all of our writers around here. You also get members-only access to events, discounts on events, members-only merchandise, and so much more. So sign up today over at gophnx.com. Let's take a look at the numbers for this series because, of course, they're pretty unfortunate. And, of course, we're going to have Jesse Friedman here joining us here in a moment. He'll be very interested to go over the numbers with us as well. But let's bring Jesse in since he's here. Jesse, we're not happy. I'm sure the Diamondbacks aren't happy. What are the feelings after Brandon Pfaadt goes out there and throws a 1-run gem and gets no run support?
Man, yeah, where to start with this one, right? The Diamondback, I mean, you allowed 2 hits in an entire game. Brandon Pfaadt didn't allow his second hit until I believe the 6th or 7th inning in this game. I want to say it was the 7th inning that he allowed that second hit. Yeah. He pitched an outstanding game. I mean, Brandon Pfaadt was every bit of the top flight prospect that a lot of people expected him to be in this game. This was really impressive stuff. I don't think there was anything fluky about his pitching line. His sweeper was outstanding in this game. It was his most thrown pitch. You can tell he's just gaining so much confidence with some of those secondary pitches, something that we really haven't seen from him in the past. But this offense, man, I mean, where do you start with this offense? The Diamondbacks, after winning the opening game of this series 4-3, they come back, they score 5 total runs the next 3 games. and they just like this team just like can't score runs. Like I don't really know how else to say it at this point. Torey Lovello after the game, I don't know if you guys have talked about this comment yet, but he was basically asked like, what do you guys like? Where do you go from here? Torey has been consistent throughout this entire time. The guys are working really hard. The coaching staff is working really hard. The effort has been there, to the max that you would expect it to be. And yet these are the results that the team is getting time and time again. And Torey was asked, like, what else is there to do? And I mean, he basically, to summarize, was like, I don't know. Like, what else actually is there to do?
We have that video right here. Here's what Torey had to say about the team's current struggles.
Yeah. It's what makes sports so great, professional sports so great, and then it just rips your heart out. I don't know what else to do. I want the guys to focus on the right things, relax, and keep things simple. Now, that doesn't mean don't try hard. I want everybody's absolute best effort. But if you got the Bunsen burner out there and you're building rocket ships in between pitches and at-bats, we don't need that. I want you to simplify things and go out there and execute to the best of your ability. And that's where we're at right now. The effort has been fantastic, but I think we're just overanalyzing everything.
Line
Wow.
That was encouraging.
There's a lot to unpack there. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I mean, I don't know. Am I taking this wrong? But he legitimately looks out of answers as a manager for this team. I mean, is it? Oh, did Jesse's audio go away?
Jesse looks like he muted himself. That's what it says on our end, at least.
I did indeed mute myself. I'm also speechless.
Can I just say real quick? Can I just say real quick? There is nothing more panic-inducing as a producer than when a guest audio doesn't come through and there's nothing on your end that you have control over.
There should be a camera on me in that situation.
Because when that happens, it's like, oh god, everything is going
just freaking out.
Anyway, back to your answer, Jesse, with audio.
Yes, with audio. I think Torey would straight up tell you. I mean, he kind of did right there. Like, he kind of is out of answers. And I mean, I don't necessarily think that that's something that, Torey should be slammed for or anything. Like, that's just kind of where teams get at certain points in the season, where you're just losing game after game after game. I mean, the vast majority of like losing streaks that happen in the sport of baseball aren't because guys don't care or guys aren't putting forth the effort, or the preparation isn't being done. They're because sometimes it's just like how it goes in this game, right? And sometimes you just really don't have answers, even though results continue to be bad time after time. Again, baseball is just a weird sport where, like, no matter how much more you want to try, no matter what kind of, mental adjustments you want to make, it doesn't guarantee a change in results. At the end of the day, baseball is a really hard sport and guys still have to go out there and try to find a way to do their job. More than anything, guys, I don't really view this as, an effort thing or, somebody needs to go crazy in the clubhouse or any of that stuff. I think we're just kind of seeing a Diamondbacks team that was really playing extremely well early in the season. A lot of fun to watch, seemed to be way ahead of schedule. And this sort of feels like a reality check where it's like, okay, maybe this Diamondbacks team was ahead of schedule. Maybe they really weren't quite the team that we saw in the first few months. And honestly, I mean, that's something that we've talked about a little bit as being a possibility. There have kind of been underlying signs the whole year. Maybe the Diamondbacks are playing over their heads a little bit. And, we've certainly seen that here in the last few weeks.
Well, and I mean, we were at one point doing a bit of a victory lap about projections and stuff, even our own projections, because the Diamondbacks were well on pace at one point to win 100 games, to win 95 games, things like that, right? And I mean, all we can do is analyze what's going on and kind of, we tried to say this is kind of crazy, but it's fun to watch and everything like that. We started adjusting, much like the fans, our expectations for where this team's at. But much like a baseball game, the season needed to be completed. And the season still isn't completed. So in the end, we might see this team play exactly where a lot of projections were, where they win about 80 games, 82 games, 84 games, 78 games, something like that.
Is this team going to finish above 500?
I don't know, because Jesse, they've only won 7 games since July 1st, and I don't know,
500 right now.
if I can guarantee that they're going to be above 500. I don't know if I can do that anymore, especially with the series that they have left. That's why, again, not to get overly dramatic, but that's why I felt this series with the Twins that's coming up is so crucial, because if they can't win against a team that just got swept by the Royals, if they can't win a series with their arguably 2 of their best pitchers going in that series, then I'd have to say that this season is looking pretty bleak. I don't think Brandon Pfaadt's career is looking bleak, though, and I think we're ultimately going to be very happy that Brandon Pfaadt was not traded at the trade deadline, especially for some fly-by-night pitcher that might only be with the organization even just for a year and a half, right? Pfaadt had 15 whiffs today, Jesse, and I know that's big for you. And he used his sweeper 39% of the time today. Like, through 39% of his pitches were sweepers, 31% four-seam fastballs, 23% changeups, and then the curveball snuck in there at 7%. So what were your thoughts on his pitch selection and going so heavily with the sweeper today?
It was really amazing to watch. I mean, of his 7 strikeouts, I think 5 of them were on 3 pitches. Like, this wasn't like Brandon Pfaadt didn't beat around the bush. Like, he just came right after guys. He came within 1 pitch of an immaculate inning at one point in this game. He had back-to-back strikeouts to start an inning on 3 pitches. He had an 0-2 count. I think there was a ground out to finish that inning, so wasn't quite able to finish that off. But yeah, I mean, this is sort of everything that you're hoping for to see from Brandon Pfaadt. I think earlier in the season, for me, it seemed like it was a little bit hard to evaluate what we were seeing because he was making so many middle mistakes that, at this level, it doesn't really matter how good your stuff is. If you throw stuff right down the middle, it's going to get hit. And we did see that with, a 2-2. a 2-2 center cut fastball to Lamont Wade Jr. That's still going to, go over the fence, even if you're throwing a lot of other good pitches in the game. So that's obviously something he needs to continue to work on. But you're seeing how effective his stuff can be, right? He did a much better job in this game of commanding that secondary stuff. And he talked after the game about just how he feels more confident in that stuff now than he did earlier in the season. And Torrey also talked about how the Diamondbacks have really emphasized to him, you're going to have to back off your fastball a little bit at this level. Even though the four-seamer played up in Reno and has been a swing and miss pitch for him in the past, he might be able to do a little bit of that in the big leagues, but in order for him to last and really become the pitcher a lot of people think he can, he's going to have to rely on the secondary stuff. And today you saw just how electric that stuff can be.
We have his pitch chart from today, Jesse, and I really like the selection here. I like how scattered things are around. There's still a lot there in the middle, but you see a bit more of the fastball being inside and up. You see a bit more of that sweeper being the pitch that kind of lands there dead in the strike zone, which I think that's what kind of allowed him to be a bit more effective with the pitches that did land in there. But the one thing I didn't really like is that he threw too many strikes, to be honest. When I heard I think he threw 62 out of 82 pitches for strikes. And I mean, that's just nuts to me. That's, like you said, when it comes to pitching at a major league level, you literally need to pitch outside of the strike zone more than that in order to full batters. And like as much as you want, like when I was a kid, I thought that the ultimate day out for a pitcher was every single one of his balls or, pitches being thrown was for a strike. Like when I would hear guys like, oh, you threw 95 pitches and 45 were for strikes. I was like, or 65 were for strikes. You're like, yeah, like he's not even close. With today's performance, I felt like that would be the only thing I would criticize about Brandon Pfaadt was, again, he could be a little bit more deceptive, throwing a little bit out of the strike zone with the way things guys were swinging and missing today. I felt like he could have even been more dominant.
I totally agree. Yeah, that's a conversation we had with Brent Strom, I think right when Brandon Pfaadt was first called up, about how, if anything, Pfaadt, he throws too many pitches in the zone at times, and I think opposing hitters can get a little bit too comfortable in the box as a result of that. Walks aren't necessarily the worst thing in the world. You don't want to encourage them necessarily, but it's also okay, to walk 2 or 3 guys a game. You'd rather walk a guy than, risk making a middle mistake in a hitter's count or something like that. So I do think that's something that Pfaadt will probably have to learn and come to grips with. watching him pitch reminds me of like pitching an MLB The Show sometimes. Like, at least for me, when I'm playing MLB The Show, like, I don't throw pitches out of the strike zone. Like, if it's 0-2, I might.
I'm painting the corner every time.
Only when your stamina gets down low and you can't really control them well anymore is really the only
Unless
point.
I'm playing against a friend and then I'm throwing high heat to make him look like a fool all the time because that's just coming like right at the middle of the screen.
That's because you know it's a human and you can easily deceive them more than
right.
Actually, I don't ever throw in the strike zone. Now that I think about it, when I'm like almost all of my pitches now are like I'm trying to get because like my worst case scenario is giving up a home run. Yeah. I'm pitching curveballs, just hoping they fucking they swing at him.
No, everybody's aggressive. Everybody's aggressive when they're playing the show. Let's take a look at the numbers for this series because believe it or not, this does not look like a 3-1 series win by the Giants. I mean, neither team was very good offensively in this. When you look at 12 runs being scored to 9 runs, you got the hits there 26-20, errors 1-2, so nothing there. But man, these ERAs for these pitching 2.96 starting pitching ERA for the Diamondbacks, 2.65 for the Giants. Relief pitching was just absurd for the Giants bullpen. Like the Diamondbacks could not get anything going against the Giants bullpen at all, including today's bullpen game.
Yeah, the Giants are weird, man. I mean, they just have all these guys that they use in like 2 or 3 inning roles, right? Like Shawn, Alex Wood, Jacob Junis, like all these guys on most teams would look at these guys and they're like, oh, like you've got a number 4, number 5 starter. Yeah. Not the Giants. They're like, no, you're gonna pitch like innings 4 through 6, and then this guy is gonna get like 3 outs in the 7th, and then 2 outs in the 8th. And, I don't know what Gabe Kapler is thinking over there, but it sort of has worked. And I've kind of always gotten the sense that when the Diamondbacks play the Giants in these types of games, it's a little bit harder to really find an offensive rhythm when you're constantly having, different relievers on the mound. And all of these guys are quality relievers. The Giants really do have one of the best bullpens in the game. And this plan just works for them. It's weird. It's frustrating for other teams when, the Giants this year, I think, have performed extremely well in their bullpen games. This has sort of been a strategy for them all along. But the Diamondbacks I guess so. The Diamondbacks just haven't really had an answer for it.
Yeah. Nicholas asks, how did we nearly hit 400 of the runners in scoring position and score only 9 runs in 4 games? How? I'm going to tell you how. Because the Diamondbacks only had, once again, 13 runners in scoring position
we shouldn't
in
even put that number
4 games. Oh my God, 13 runners in scoring position.
They say the numbers never lie, but they are definitely misleading little bastards.
Right, because they were 5 for 13. They actually had 1 more hit than the Giants, but the Giants had 26 runners in scoring position in this game, in this series. They had plenty of opportunities. They hit that 1 extra home run, which ended up honestly being the difference maker in today's game because they hit 4 home runs in this series to the Diamondbacks 3. And I mean, again, it's like Lourdes Gurriel feels like he's coming back online a bit. Ketel Marte was off today, but he still has been a primary source of offense for them. But outside of that, I mean, Geraldo Perdomo remains fairly consistent. Corbin Carroll feels like he's completely lost at the plate at times. There's a lot of discussion in our office about why is he coming with the bunt approach so often when this man can hit oppo tacos like almost effortlessly, it seems like at times. So I don't know. It just feels like a lot of guys are struggling and trying to do whatever they can to get back on pace.
Yeah, Corbin's been rolling over the top a lot lately. There have been a lot of like pull side ground balls for him. You also saw a pop up late in the game in a key spot. He's really fallen off offensively, and I mean the man still has an OPS of like 870, 875. So
yes,
it's hard. Like he's still having an outstanding season, and him being a rookie, like these are the kinds of things that are going to happen. I think Corbin Carroll is probably the least of the Diamondbacks' worries. But I want to go back to something that I heard Shawn say before I hopped on. If you look at the Diamondbacks lineup right now, it just doesn't it just doesn't really scare you all that much. I know Torrey mixed things up quite a bit today. Today's lineup was pretty weird. I asked him about it after the game. He said he was, trying everything, like just trying to see if he could get something going by trying a different look in the lineup. It didn't work. But yeah, like this Diamondbacks lineup on paper is frankly nothing super special, right? I mean, it's Ketel Marte having a great season. It's Corbin Carroll having a great season. It's Christian Walker continuing to be a well above average first baseman. But after that, I mean, I guess you hope Tommy Pham comes in and kind of continues what he was doing with the Mets. You hope Lourdes gets back to what he was before. But it's kind of just those three guys, and then everyone else who's just kind of averaged, a lot of them a little bit below average. It kind of feels like this Diamondbacks offense was overperforming earlier in the season and is kind of correcting a little bit now.
Jesse, I know you're not flying back, or I know you're flying back, you're not driving back, but we also know if you were driving back, exactly where you would stop. And of course, it's our friends at Circle K. And I know you would do that just because you miss me and Shawn so much that you would hope to catch one of us on the gas pump just so that that way you'd feel, like you're back home. But as you know, here in town, Circle K is the best place for coffee, beer, and snack selection and premium gas. Polar Pops. Listen to us in the gas station. True. Our souls are trapped in a gas station gas pump, and it's merely to tell you that Polar Pops stay cold longer. They really do. It's a fact, and that's what our life goal is, to remind you of that. But my other life goal is to see one of you fight Shawn for a 2023 Ford Big Ben Bronco SUV.
And now I'm pissed. So
yeah, like he's got the toothpick now. That's immediately like a level up boss move. But all you have to do is buy Powerade. You get them 4 for $5, and you will be entered to become one of 10 finalists to fight Shawn for that truck. You can also get buy 2 get 1 free Monster Energy drinks and buy 2 get 1 free Beatbox hard teas. Make sure you're not missing out on all of this incredible stuff. Right now, text PHNX to 31310 to join their SMS subscriber club. That's PHNX to 31310. You will get a buy 1 get 1 free offer on a 32-ounce Polar Pop. Head to circlek.com/store-locator to find Circle K's near you. Of course, while you're there, pick up some Four Peaks, or wherever you get your beers at, grab some Four Peaks. It is the official craft beer of PHNX, and this is the official craft beer of the Arizona Diamondbacks. They have their Rattle On Red Ale, and if you're not into that, they have a wide variety of beers for you to try. A great place to do so is at the Four Peaks Draft Room at Chase Field. It is a wonderful spot on the suite level. You can watch games from there. You don't even have to go to your seat. You can just hang out there the whole game. You can join us for our takeover event on August 12th. That's where we will be meeting up. For more on that, check out the events page in our show notes to find dates and tickets. And of course, check out the Four Peaks calendar at fourpeaks.com/events to stay up to date on everything Four Peaks. Check out social media, Four Peaks Brew, Four Peaks Pub, to keep up with everything at Arizona's hometown brewery. Must be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please drink responsibly. Speaking of you making a flight, are you going to make your flight? That is our biggest question. Yeah,
that's what I was wondering this whole time. What time is your flight?
When is your flight?
Well, it all depends on how long you guys hold me hostage here. But
yes,
my flight, you can make this interesting for me if you want to.
We're going to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Jesse, and I'm starting in chronological order with Captain America, and we're going from there.
My flight leaves at 6:47 p.m.
Oh, my God. Okay. I have anxiety.
I thought you were just going to say 6, and I was like, I don't like that. That's
I think we're at 45 minutes with us.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a good spot. I'm about 45 minutes with transit.
Do you have your bags with you?
5-minute Uber ride. Oh yeah, I've got everything with me.
He's dialed up.
You're chilling.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. But we got questions. We have more questions before we let you go. What is going on with Tommy Henry and Zach Davies? Speaking of the starting rotation, have there been any updates on these two gentlemen?
Yeah, so Zach Davies, we're not sure exactly when it will be. Torrey has not confirmed that for us yet, but Zach Davies is about to throw a 60-pitch simulated game, so he's ramping up. Torrey didn't give us an exact date or an idea of how soon he could be back, but it seems like he might not be all that far away, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. That's sort of a very rough guesstimate. And then Tommy Henry, it sounds like there's been a bit of a setback there. Torrey didn't really describe it that way. But when the injury initially happened, it sounded like the D-backs were hoping to get him back in August, and Torrey yesterday described that as a best-case scenario. So he's still in the treatment phase, hasn't begun any kind of throwing at this point. So I'd be kind of surprised if you saw Tommy Henry this month. It's probably going to be September. Obviously, that puts a lot of pressure on other guys in this rotation.
Slade Cecconi, do we think we'll see more of Slade Cecconi being stretched out a little further, or do you think that they're still going to kind of maybe take it easy with him, maybe restrict him to just going through the lineup 2 times like we saw in his first start?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would suspect that if they kind of wanted to protect him in his first start, they might do the same thing in his second start. I guess take a cue here from Gabe Kapler. Don't let guys go too deep in games. Kind of try to switch things up on the opponent. I think Slade starting the game and then Tyler Gilbert coming in to provide some length. It's a combo that sort of makes sense with a righty and a lefty. I wouldn't be surprised if the D-backs did that the next time around, but we also don't know exactly what their plans are here. I don't think the Diamondbacks have officially committed to Slade Ciccone making another start, even though that's probably what I would expect.
Did you get a chance to talk to Tommy Pham for the first time, newest Arizona Diamondback?
We did, yeah. Tommy spoke with the media for the first time this morning. And he talked about hitting at Chase Field. He was asked if he likes hitting at Chase Field. We posted the clip on Twitter. Some people might have already seen.
The humidor.
But he talked about it was great before the humidor. Loved hitting there before the humidor. He talked about how much confidence he would have, after just
for all intents and purposes, the humidor does not exist, Jesse. Remember, that is the official position on the humidor.
He talked about how much confidence he would have spraying home runs all over Chase Field just because of how far the ball would fly back in the day. But he also talked about how he himself has never homered at Chase Field and is hoping to turn things around. He's played kind of a lot of games there.
Got to put one in the pool.
He's obviously bounced around from a number of different teams. So in theory he likes sitting at Chase Field, but the humidor has sort of dampened the mood a little bit, if you will. Pun entirely intended. That was pretty good.
That's a dad joke if I've ever heard one, Jesse. Let's fucking go. All right.
We're the ones making all of the terrible hey fam. There's so many fam.
Oh, it's gonna get worse. We've only just begun, Jesse.
Make sure to check that video out on our YouTube page.
Yeah, do that. Before we let you go, we need some words of encouragement because Shawn and I were checking to see if these windows on the 5th floor could open potentially based on how bad things are going with this team. I don't know if we were going to throw items out of them or ourselves out the window, but how concerned really should we be? I know yesterday you said let's pump the brakes even if that series in Minnesota doesn't go well. A lot of baseball still left to play.
There is, yeah. I mean, it's August 3rd. You still have 2 months of baseball left to play. People who are pretty worried, I understand. If ever the wheels were falling off for a baseball team and the sky was falling, this is about as close as you can get to that. I won't deny that. If people have a sense that the Diamondbacks are just going to continue on this downhill path and maybe not even finish 500. I understand where you're coming from, and I wouldn't necessarily say that that's an outrageous thought. The Diamondbacks are really, really struggling right now, and they're not really showing any signs of overcoming that. I do think this series in Minnesota, I won't call it, do or die at this point in the season, but I do think it's really important. You have Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen scheduled to pitch in that series. I feel like you gotta get 2 out of 3 in Minnesota if you're the Diamondbacks at the very least. This is a series. The Twins, as we talked about, have not played particularly well of late. I think the Diamondbacks, this is going to be pretty big for them.
Piece of Yoshi in the comments said, "Well, geez, that got dark. I apologize. I've been hanging out with this man too much, and things get very drastic here."
He'll pin this on me.
I'm blaming.
He'll pin this on me.
I said the words, but I'm blaming you.
Pinning that on Shawn is crazy.
It's crazy, dog.
Right?
That's crazy.
It's a good sleight of hand. Jesse, go get on an airplane and get back here because I need you to keep me calm and collected around this place because these guys, they're not helping me. Saul came out and yelled at them for being so negative. And I say them because I don't include myself in this group of naysayers. But yeah. All right, buddy. Well, go make your flight. We don't want you to miss out on that.
We playing cornhole tomorrow?
We are. Yes. We got some cornhole to play. So we will be we're actually changing our time. So that's a good point to bring up. We're going to be going live in the afternoon tomorrow just due to everybody being out at BetMGM Sportsbook out there by Cardinal Stadium. So make sure to join us out there for that. And, of course, join us right here for more talk about how bad this baseball team has become. But Jesse,
that is a great plug, Derek.
Isn't that a great way to get people in? Go join us. We're going to talk more about how bad things are. Let's fucking go. All right, Jesse, we'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
All right, take care, guys.
Safe travels.
Can I just talk about 2 random baseball things real quick?
I would love it if you did.
First
Are they
off,
not Diamondbacks related?
They're not Diamondbacks related at all. First off,
that's what I need.
Anthony Rizzo just got put on the IL for a possible concussion that's dating back to May from when he got hit by he's on
a 60-day IL.
Fernando Tatis. It doesn't say. I just see a tweet that says going to IL. But this happened back in May. Before it happened, he had played 53 games, had 11 home runs, and had a 304, 376, 505 slash line. Now he's considered like one of the worst players in baseball right now. Since that date, the date that he allegedly got a concussion, he has 1 home run and a slashing 172, 271, 225.
Oh my God.
That's terrifying.
But because you're playing with.
Well, he's playing. Apparently, he's been playing with a concussion that's severely affecting how he's playing.
Yeah.
Which is like, and I hate that. I hate the New York Yankees. First off, Rizzo was drafted by the Red Sox. Secondly, I love him as a guy and a player. Yeah. And regardless, even if I'm not rooting for guys to have massive head trauma.
I mean, it's a crazy thing because we talk about how like the medical staff a lot of times is in charge of that, right? So the medical staff ultimately should be making that call, not leaving up to coaches.
I don't even know how. Yeah, how does that happen?
How does it skip through and not notice that a concussion, is there? That's rough.
Other crazy baseball story: Flaherty pitching for the Orioles. I don't understand how this happens. This season, like only 6 times all season, he has pitched over 96.0 miles per hour. His fastball.
Okay,
he's done it. Or it's happened 7 times. He's done it 6 times already in this one start with the Orioles, and has hit 97 for the first time all year.
This is kind of like
right. How does something like that happen?
I don't know. It's like the Ryan Nelson, Dre Jameson thing. When they came up last year, they were both doing the same thing. Like they were pitching, like their velo was between like 92 and 94. And now they were just hitting regularly like 97.
How does that happen? Just switching teams?
I don't know.
Like it's one thing if it's like, you're approaching batters differently or something like that. And you're having more success in a different setting. But like to physically throw the ball harder, just playing in a different uniform makes no sense to me.
I mean, we're gonna have to see how the season plays out for Brandon Pfaadt, especially after today's great start. But like, how does literally changing the side of the rubber that you pitch from ultimately impact
that's a fair
you
point. I mean, pitching is it's
like so weird, right? Yeah, but like obviously Brent Strom with his years of experience knew that like there's some deception to be had there. Something,
that's a fair point.
It's also the way that Brent Strom instantly doing Ryan Nelson was tipping his pitches that game against the Cardinals.
It could be something as simple as a very minor mechanics adjustment that adds that less than mile per hour difference.
Baseball is fun. It's crazy, but I'll tell you, in order to get yourself prepared for it, you need to check out Foco.com because they have our set locked down. We need to see this Cattell back. The flexing Cattell, maybe doing a little bit one of these options again, but you can get all of these wonderful little works of art at Foco, which is a leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise. And they have a product line that includes apparel, includes accessories, toys, collectibles, the Rally Monkey, which we might need to get Cogs and the Rally Monkey in studio to turn things around. But most importantly, I love their bobbleheads. They're limited edition, they are numbered, and they are tiny works of art. So you can check them out. They have everything you need for baseball season. And of course, Foco always has our back for Arizona sports, which some teams don't.
No, they like quite literally are numbered. Like there's only 144 of these?
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and they number them down to like 85 sometimes. They have like an 85 order, and like the bobbleheads increase in value or increased in cost even with Foco based on that, but it's because you are literally getting a numbered collectible item from them.
Yeah, I honestly did not know that. Yeah, number 45. I didn't know that was a thing.
This one is 27 of 322.
This is 45 of 144.
I believe the Cattell one's sold out. There's a Corbin Carroll one that's sold out.
They sell out real. Because there's only 300
I did not. Yeah, I genuinely did not know that.
Yeah, they are. Of course, we love them. We love the pieces they've donated to our set, and of course, we still need a Michaela Perkins action figure for this car. But Foco again, they have yours too when it comes to Arizona sports. They have your back. Get the gear that they make is the best gear around, and you can get that by visiting Foco.com and use our promo code of PHNX for all non-presale items. You use that promo code PHNX, you will get 10% off. And after a loss like today, we need OGs. There's no better way to put it. I mean, there's no better way to get over a loss than OG's Brands gummies, and I mean that literally because If you go a high enough dosage, you might not even remember that a baseball game was played. But that's the wonderful thing about OGs. They have a variety of doses. They have a variety of strains. Whatever you need, they have you covered. Their pink lemonade gummies are limited edition themselves. They're not numbered like these guys, but they are limited edition, and they are live now. They are here. They are fresh. They are tangy. They are lemony. They are red berry, and they have plenty of sugar on them. They're delicious. So make sure to check them out. They're here to flavor your summer. And also check out my favorite, the Sleep Edition gummies, because that is one thing that I use marijuana for, is to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, getting a good night's sleep with the weight of the D-backs fucking train wreck on your mind is tough.
When my mind goes quiet and I have those moments, all I hear is like 142 batting average in the last like 6 games or whatever. That's what happens in my head. So I need OGs. They also have mix bags now available. Fruits, creams, they have a variety of flavors in them, and they are all delicious. You can find out your favorite, or maybe you just like the variety. We highly recommend you check out OGs online at ogsbrands.com and on Instagram at ogsbrands. You can also find their products at your local dispensary. Must be 21 years or older to purchase, and please use responsibly. Well, that's all we got, folks. We will be back tomorrow from the BetMGM Sportsbook out there at Cardinal Stadium. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the Cardinals year is going to go, but I have a feeling that being out there might not bring us any luck either, but it'll bring us a whole lot of fun. And I mean, honestly, there's no better experience in betting on sports than getting that little paper ticket.
Yeah.
A little paper ticket in your hand just feels good. So make sure to join us out there for that. We'll be going live, I think, at 1 p.m. tomorrow. We got a lot of shows going. So this guy's on most of them, but make sure to follow him on Twitter. He is at Shawn_DePaz. I'm at Cap_Caveman with a K. Jesse is at Jesse and Friedman. Of course, we are Damon's Dogs. And you can follow him at Damon Dog. That's DAWG. Our show is at PHNX D-backs. But of course, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The Rally Monkey is coming to Cornhole tomorrow. We need him. We need him out there.
Yeah, that's huge.
I challenge the Rally Monkey to Cornhole. I think that's one person I know I can beat out there, mostly because he's an inanimate object, but also because I like my chances. We thank you guys for joining us on behalf of this crew. We appreciate your time. And of course, remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you make it to the airport with 2 hours to spare. Jesse, hurry!